Hello there, YouTube. We are back with some more commentary for y'all. I'm joined by my pinhead, the highwayman himself, the Quackmaster.
Oh, okay. I was going to be a person because you didn't say anything duck related, so I was convinced that I needed to be human this time around. Let's move on.
We're back to bringing some more commentary from matches that we had over at Sully's Abode. As we mentioned in our previous video, the shop and our community has been growing a whole lot. It's been really crazy to see. For those of you who've watched some of our videos and made it out to the shop, you know, thank you, first of all, for doing that. And it's been great to see some of you guys come out. This particular locals, we had 21 people show up and went 5 rounds, which was craziness. I don't think I've ever played in a 5-round local before. But
I haven't. Yeah.
Like the matches themselves were great. And we were able to bring some content for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. This particular round is myself playing Mirage on the left, going up against Jeremy, who's playing ShineGreymon on the right. So a little bit of a throwback in terms of like deck archetypes. But I still think 2 decks that are very, very strong. Like Mirage has been doing well, as we've seen in recent performances at Regionals and Ultimate Cups this past weekend. Shine, while people have sort of maybe put it to the wayside, is still a really strong deck and can still do really, really good things. It did sneak into the top 16 at the most recent Ultimate Cup. So, I mean, I think Shine is still pretty much very viable. And it's a kind of a toe-to-toe in terms of 2 OTK decks and how they interact with each other. So it should be a good matchup. I had a ton of fun. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Last bit of business things before we hop into the round itself. If you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel, please do feel free to do so. I know we're going to keep beating this over the head, so hopefully it's not too annoying yet, but it would help the channel out a whole lot, and we would greatly appreciate it. So if you don't mind, please help us out. And check out our socials, which are in the link tree down below in the video description. Would love to see you folks hop into the Discord, shoot the shit with us. It's always a good time. So without further ado, let's hop right into the round over here.
It's kind of interesting how I think we talked about this privately the other day. Like, God, I love the way you shuffle. It's so freaking smooth. I don't know how you do it like that.
Speaking of smooth,
I try to do, yeah. But I mean, hey, it's mostly smooth. What was I gonna say? But it's so interesting to see how Shine and Mirage have swapped like their placements in the meta. Like I know BT-15 GeoGrey got hit, and while that was very good gas for the deck, the deck still has so many pieces that you think it'd be okay. But like Mirage has just become this like consistent monster that just has such a good matchup into so many like decks in the format right now.
So we see myself, I'm just setting up. So I have a level 4 in the back. I have a training, and then I respond with my own memory setter to have him not choke me. Jeremy's kind of doing the same, just setting up. He is just going up the line, which I think right now is a fair play. You know, sometimes just going into level 5 until you hit your right pieces as a Shine player is honestly not a bad play. And I'm also doing the same. Where I'm like, I go into level 5, I just set up my tamers and just wait for the right time. And I think I have to do this particularly with Shine, because if I poke security and a BT-12 Marcus comes out, or like another, you know, training or whatever comes out, it's just bad news bears for me.
Yeah.
So I'm really just waiting for him to bulk his hand size up with search and whatnot, and wait for me to just be able to OTK before I go out and push my stack up. So I just play out the Gao so that we both draw. Again, just to bulk his hand up a little bit. And then I play out a training just for that extra value when I do go into the top end.
I just think, yeah, Jeremy put himself at 6 security does give him a little bit more safety. Mirage, definitely. I think Mirage, honestly, can OTK better than Shine right now, because I think that Shine's combo is very kind of set in, whereas Mirage's combo can extend a lot further beyond what like it normally does. I mean, I guess in the same sense Shine can too if they have enough tamers on board.
So here Jeremy,
I think it's a bit more memory
is like, let me just crack the boost to go up to 6. He does play out the Marcus off of the Agu effect, goes into a GeoGrey for 2, Then decides to swing with said Marcus. Suspension will pop the Gaomon, and then he gives me another Thomas, which is nice for me.
Yeah.
And then goes into Rise Grade to play out the BT-12 Marcus, and then he passes over. So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, I can't be hiding in the back anymore. I do need to do something because we're looking at yeah. So we go into Mirage for 2 by using the training. We bounce the Rise Grade back to hand. So I'll gain 2 memories off of Inheritables and then 1 memory off of the Mirage effect. Here I'm thinking about, okay, like, do I want to be a bit cautious? But I say, okay, we'll swing. We'll force him to draw 1 so that I can use the Mach-Gao effect to restand. I do end up living because I have jamming.
Did you forget to gain a memory?
No, it was just, sorry, it's 1 memory off of Inheritables and then 1 off of Mirage because it's the Betamon that's underneath.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, yeah. I go ahead, swing again, hit a Shine, so then I tapped the BT-4 Thomas to restand. Here I'm like, okay, at this point, it may not be complete game, but put pressure, go into Mirage, burst mode, go up to 5, and I'm like, wait, he's got 8, so let's think about this. Swing, tap Thomas, we both draw. I do the bottom decking stuff. Jeremy shuffles, so I don't know, maybe hit something. I can read cards.
I mean, when you bottom deck my cards, you always bottom deck the perfect card every time, so.
So we stand back at 8 again. We go ahead, swing 1 more time, hit a Geogray. So at this point, I'm like, okay, you know, we've got 5 memory. What's the best play here? I go ahead and go Kuma for 2. I use the training to go into a level 5, I believe, for a cost of 1. And then I go into another Mirage, or not. No. That would be the ideal play, is if I can go into another Mirage, and then I can restand and just kind of be a double Mirage floodgate.
Looks like you were looking for it.
But I just go ahead and play out a Gaoga to kind of threaten like a Zudo Ace also, because I'm like, well, have him play around it. If he can go up the line, let's see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, this also does, like, you whiteboarding as well is also just kind of scary. There's a lot that you can do there. So push up.
Pays the memory, so Marcus becomes live. And at this point too, I mean, Shine could very easily just go for game here. Like, that's how crazy Shine can get. I mean, it's definitely a very, like, powerful OTK deck in this position. And we've seen it plenty of times before. And also too, Jeremy can sequence some of his inheritables in a smart way so that he can get around, for example, like a Zudo Ace play and whatnot. So it really just depends on how he sequences his effects, which is important.
I think the big thing here that he's aware of that needs to be careful of is because he has that Geogray inheritable, he's going to pass memory over with Mirage if he's not careful. Yeah. Go Shine. He'll draw. A -2, 3. So it'll be 8k. Okay, so he chooses to do DP reduction, then pop the...
Yeah, pops the Gaoga, and then he says Marcus is going to be swinging into the...
Yeah, you'll gain 2 memory because of the draw.
Mach-Gao, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, because
gain the 2 memory, and then he swings over Mirage, which was smart. You know, that was a very effective board wipe there. Which does put me in a little bit of a rough spot, because now I'm like, well, there's nothing erasing. My 1 hybrid is now gone. And he just says, okay, well, I whiteboard.
Did he do... What did he... So was it -1? So he minuses 3 for every tamer he has with Shine, right? And he has -2 and -1.
Which, I mean, like I said, it's
What is it,
just one of the things where, like, if he
-2, so that goes
sequences
down to
right,
5.
he's able to do
He's
it.
+3, so he's 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what he did now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out the mental Olympics of like what things got what DP reduction, so I can understand. And then he did a -1 with the Koro on the.
Which I feel like is an
Mirage.
aspect of Shine that a lot of people do forget about, just because people think Shine Unga Bunga. Like, there is that aspect where you can remove stuff with DP, which arguably, like, balance and DP reduction are probably one of the stronger removal mechanics right now, outside of like bottom decking, you know.
Let's check into a burst mode there.
Yeah,
It kind of hurts for you because that means 2 of your burst modes are gone. I think you have one in hand though still.
I do have one in hand, and those are the 3. Jeremy himself is looking for a burst mode. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he has it. Just so goes ahead and swings with the beta, because if he had burst mode there, it's game. Like, there's nothing I can do at that point. So I got a little bit lucky there, him not seeing his burst mode. He goes into a training for 2, looking for it, doesn't have it still. And then is just trying to find a way to pass turn over to 3. Which he just says, oh, you know what? Just swing, because the guy's probably gonna either get bounced. It does live, so it gives me a bounce target. And he says plays a Pata, which is an interesting tech choice for sure. I mean, one that works very well.
It's all yellow vaccine and Evos for free, so.
And he's going to be passing over to memory, potentially. I needed the Mirage. I search into it, which I will tell you this. I know a lot of people kind of shit on the Searcher Gao. The amount of times that motherfucker has helped me out by picking up a Mirage is still, like, huge for me. And I had just enough memory to go into burst mode here and keep turn.
I mean, it's still a Searcher, right? So it's like, it's not bad by any means. It's just, I think the bigger thing with it is just the fact that it trashes the cards off of the reveal. That's all.
It trashes the inheritable. Honestly, too, has come up for me as well, because like, you still bounce to level 3. That's like sometimes like an additional body that you can bounce back to hand, which also bulks people's hand size up. And I'm doing my bottom decking stuff. I'd use Mirage to just since I do have the Arrow V inheritable. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I swing... Okay, I just go into security. I thought maybe I would swing into GeoGrey. Just swing into security for 2 checks. I'm like, wait a second. Let's just do that first. Let's swing.
Yep.
And security, do that, and then restand.
Yeah.
And that's game 1.
All right, I'm going to game 2. That was a clutch pullback. Yeah, Jeremy not seeing the burst mode just that threw him out of the game. If he had the burst mode though, then it was curtains. But
and I think this particular locals too, like I went into it with the mindset of trying to prepare myself for playing against vaccine, and we've talked about this offline too, but like I kind of feel like, 1, I feel like Mirage can do well, and 2, I feel like if you kind of go not less OTK, because you still want to OTK, but like you focus a little bit on board control and trying to have them like just not establish a board presence. That's sort of like the mantra I was trying to get myself into with this locals, was to see like, okay, yes, I can still OTK, but like how can I like interact with my opponent's board state and just like do my best to just like bounce everything and then put myself in a better spot. So a lot of my plays, I think this time around, was trying to focus just on like, what can I bounce? How can I control the board? And how can I be a little bit more?
I don't think you need to worry about it too much, because Mirage naturally just controls the board as it goes for its OTK is the thing.
Yeah.
So there's not really... I don't think the mental needs to shift too much. I mean, outside of maybe you deciding if you want to swing into a body rather than security.
Right.
But otherwise, you kind of just Evo, things go bye-bye.
Right.
Which is nice, because then you don't have to worry about aces.
Correct.
That's part of why Mirage is so strong right now. Because it just gets around an ace mechanic entirely when all other decks are more reliant on one attacking and stuff to try and deal with it.
We see Jeremy just go ahead and establish a BT-12 Marcus right off the bat, which is pretty good. I'm thinking about what I want to do here, so I just go ahead and search, pick up the Mach Gao, trash the rest, crack the boost to go up to 2, go Galga in the back, and then go Galga here.
I will say that BT-13 Mach Galga is going to be so huge.
Yes.
It's going to be so huge moving forward. That card is absolutely nutty for the Magna X matchup.
I ordered my set of pre-release stamped ones.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that card is definitely, if you're a Mirage player and you haven't looked at that card for whatever reason, now's the time to do it, because that card is going to be your main way of getting around Magna X come next format.
I thought about swinging with the Gauga, but I was like, wait a second, I don't have a tamer, so I can't bounce the Patamon. I didn't want the Pata there just because there's a lot of gas that can come out of it. So I was like, just Pseudo Ace, bounce a Pata back to hand. Which, unfortunately, he had a final Shining Burst for 8, which essentially becomes a 5-cost drop to play Marcus, but he gets rid of my body, which is pretty solid value.
Yeah. But I think, there was, you put it on display, like, I know, and like what I was saying earlier, that's not to denounce that I wasn't saying that your mental is wrong, or like you don't actually have to work for the mental difference, by the way. I'm realizing that I might have sounded like an asshole now. Oh. Is that how I meant it? No, it's but I think there illustrates you sort of showing like, okay, you're not going for a chip or swings. You're like, let me just control the board. Yeah. Let me control the board and just slow the pace of what he has available to him, so that there's less resources on his side.
And like honestly, I feel like all of my matches today, not all of them, but most of my matches today were like that. Like Shine, I played against Justin with Red Hybrid as well, which is another one where you kind of don't want to poke too much.
Yeah.
Machine, definitely similar to that too. Like if you poke an Analog Man out of security, that could also be a huge thing. So like a lot of my matchups were very much so like a, you don't want to poke too early sort of thing.
Yeah. You just sort of, you wait and you don't do the security chips until you're going for game, basically. So you more hard lock yourself into the OTK and just focus on control while just trying to establish a board state to get to that point. That is a hell of a lot of resources.
Yes.
But yeah. So anyways, what I was gonna try and say though is like I think the mental makes sense with where we're going, is because we're definitely going into a game state where you, as best as you can, you need to choke to one and control your opponent's board, because if you let them establish their big bodies, like Rapid X and Magna X, things are gonna get really difficult for you to push for game.
Yeah. So Jeremy here swang with the Marcus and just hard evoed into burst mode to play out another Marcus and do shenanigans that way.
That'll do it.
Which will be fair. And then
that is a lot of Marcus.
Yeah, it was a Marcus fest.
Masaru for game.
Yeah, so Jeremy takes game 2. Just Shine doing Shine things right there. Once they kind of establish that burst mode play, like there's not a whole lot I can really do outside of just hope security does something. But even then, like most of the times they're just plowing through and trashing. So it was really just a race of resources. As you saw, like I had a shit ton in the back where if Jeremy didn't go for game, it would probably been...
You probably had game on your turn.
I did.
Or at least you would have done a lot of board control and gotten some pretty crazy value out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely one of those interesting matchups that like this Fenry, these like OTK decks, I'm just like, ugh. I need to I need to go fast, otherwise I'm gonna get OTK'd.
Yeah.
Which
Fenry's a hard one, because Fenry I think is even... The thing with Fenry that makes it so scary is that it establishes such a huge board that even if they don't OTK you that turn, if you don't make their clapback instantly and do something, you probably just lose the turn after.
Right. And that's what I was playing with RB the other night when we were just like chilling. Like that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Was just
the new Soul Lugar is insane.
Yeah. But we see Jeremy here pretty good. He has a rookie established in the back. Goes into GeoGray, which unfortunately... Oh, never mind. Does play out a Marcus, which is good value, especially BT-12 Marcus at that. This matchup, I'll be honest with you, made me really reconsider if I wanted to keep BT-4 MirageGao or put back in the BT-13 one. This matchup, as well as Red Hybrid, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I had the BT-13 MirageGao in hand.
Yeah, they are... I do think that if, like, I don't know... I imagine when BT-17 finally rolls around, you're probably going to go back to Blue Hybrid. Like... Koji shenanigans with that new Ancient Garuru, knowing you.
Probably.
Yeah, but I think if you do end up playing Mirage at all still to any capacity, you definitely put that boy back in there, because we go back into a tamer focused meta, especially come BT-18 when it's supposed to be a whole frontier set. It's going to be hybrid galore again, which I am not looking forward to. Unless we get some really good tamer control pieces as well.
Over here, I think one thing I will think is I think sometimes I play out the Zudo Ace a little bit too preemptively just for board control. Because the overflow with some of the removal stuff that Shine can do can be hurtful. Granted, you're not going to be seeing Final Shining Burst all the time, and I feel like Zudo's just been unfortunate to hit it multiple times. But I think good play by Jeremy. He was able to choke me to 1 off of that play, so I just end up digging and setting up pieces. He's thinking about what he wants to do, goes into Geo Gray. And goes ahead, swings with Marcus, and uses effect to go into Rise Gray X for free, which, unfortunately, with no Rise Gray underneath, and then hitting a final moon, or full moon, just bounces it back to hand, which is extremely rough.
Yeah.
And then goes into Geo Gray in the back.
Yeah, for 3. The pillow in the back is pretty rough.
Yeah, the pill in the back is rough, but arguably too, like, I'm still in a level 3 in the back. I only have the BT-4 Thomas, so if he can keep choking me, like, he can still do... Okay, well, never mind. I go into Arrow V, so there's not much to
no, you're set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just set up. You're good to go now. That's the thing, like, if you don't choke U2-1 consistently, the second you... If you have a rookie in the back, the second you have 2 memory, you can just set up your level 5 in the back, and then next turn you're good to go.
Correct. Especially
because
with
Mirage
the new,
is such a free Evo.
Especially with the new BT-16 Galga that's going to be coming.
Yeah.
Like, being able to go into that guy and gain memory off of Evo is going to be crazy. So we're training into Mirage. We bounce top card of security back. I gain 2 memory off of the Inheritables. And then 2 memory... Wait. Yeah,
you missed memory gain.
I might have missed the memory gain.
I think you did. You should have gained more there off of Mirage, because you should have gained 2 off Inheritables, and then you should have gained 2 off Mirage, and you Evo.
Because he gave me what? 1?
You were at... Were you at 1? Did you training? Oh, you training. That's why.
I training.
So you voted for 2, you went to 1, then you gained 4. Yeah, you're fine. You did it right.
I'm fine. Yeah, I did it right.
That's actually, you guys clarifying it right now.
Yeah. So we go back up to 5 with the burst mode. We bottom deck 2 to restand. We do 2 checks.
Yeah.
And you can kind of probably tell where this is going.
This is the Arrow V just doing its thing.
Yeah. We go for 3. Go ahead and swing 2 checks. We hit Marcus's, which is fine. I restand by Thomas effect and go for game.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, will do it.
Arrow V is still really good. I don't want to cut him, which is sort of the big debate that I have moving forward into BT-16, is that I love the BT-13 mock. But Arrow V, man, like, as you saw here, like, just helps me close games out so quickly, you know?
Yeah, I think the thing is that you have to keep in mind is that Magna X is going to be running rampant everywhere, and those security check +1s don't matter at all if you can't check security.
Exactly. So I might sneak him in there as like a one of, but I'll probably just focus on...
Yeah, because he's still good for other matchups, but he really doesn't... BT-13 mock out, you're going to need it to deal with Magna X. That's your only real way.
But yeah, that'll wrap up the video. Real good matchups. I always have a pretty close games with Jeremy, so shout out to you for kind of keeping me on my toes. Was able to sneak this one out. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the matchup. Once again, if you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel yet, please feel free to do so. And hopefully we catch you on the next video. We'll catch you on that flip. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.